Okay, it's set for 7 o'clock, so I will call to order the January 7th meeting of the Wilton Town Board.
You're still involved with the
We'll
whole
begin with
way?
the Pledge of Allegiance.
The one that pulled the plug on the leg, that's on the eye, is that? No, they did that before.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Did that with the
Roll call.
Supervisor Johnson,
Here.
Deputy Supervisor Stryker,
Here.
Councilwoman Clevenger, Councilman Lamb, Councilman Catherine.
Here. Okay, this is our first meeting for 2016. Happy New Year to our we have a very big audience tonight. First up is our public comment period. Julie, is anybody signed up?
No.
Okay, moving on. We have minutes pending from our December 2015 meeting. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make that motion to approve.
The motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any requests for changes, amendments? Okay, if not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Okay, number 5 is our organizational resolutions, 1 through number 59 that have been provided to all you a week, or at least probably 2 weeks ago. Most of them are the same as in prior years, just updating different things. Is there any, before we go into that, there is an amendment to one I'd like to propose, and that's the cell phone.
Number 12.
Huh?
Resolution 12.
So I'd like to amend that to add Councilman Kraken to that authorized cell phone use or reimbursement. But before we get the motion to make that amendment.
I'll make that motion to amend Councilman Catherine cell phone list.
I'll second that.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Okay, so we do have the resolutions. We can approve these in a group unless anyone requests a separate vote on any of the resolutions.
I make a motion we adopt resolution 1 to 59.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion, questions on any of them?
There was only one thing that I just wanted to, nothing, it's very minor. It's resolution number 26 to get rid of the HSBC bank. Number 26.
Why, because they report us like keeping?
Well, no, well, they don't do business in New York State anymore,
Yeah, they report us like keeping just recently.
like 2 years ago.
She wanted to HSBC, we take it out.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it's not,
Or if they're not in business, they're not doing.
they're in business, but not
Yeah,
anymore.
we don't do business with them, we just had them in there because at one time they had asked to get a resolution.
Sure.
So with the deletion of, with that change, we have a motion and a second. We have to do it over again now that we have a change?
There was a motion for all 59, but there was a motion by Steve, I think, to delete HSBC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you should do that first and then go back.
So we have a motion, we need a second to Steve's motion to delete HSBC.
Second Steve's motion.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. So now we need a motion to do 1 through 59 with the amendments.
Make a motion, we accept the organizational resolutions 1 through 59 with the amendments. Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Okay, next, Dollar General, which we know has been, is proposing to, is considering building a distribution warehouse on Ballard Road. They have, as part of their consideration for this site, they are asking the town to consider a fee reduction of 50%, and also the waiver of the fee involving the obtaining the height variance that they, which they had. This is consistent with what we have done with the other fire distribution centers, with ACE and Target. Are there any questions or discussion? You want to discuss that? I mean, it's typical for a business of this size that are bringing in several hundred jobs to ask for certain incentives in order to get those jobs here locally. We're in competition with other sites in other states. So it's not unusual to do this. As I said, we've done it with ACE.
I heard you say about the height requirement. Are they asking to be higher or?
No, they actually did, they went to the zoning board, they wanted to, I think it was 7 feet in the space, storage space, not the,
It was occupied space within inside the building. Would have a maximum height of 35 feet inside the building. So it's considered handling.
Not the outside.
Not the outside. They're still left, they're still
Fire
being
departments constructed in.
correct.
What fee are we looking at that they're asking for?
actually it's a combination of, we have a whole laundry list of fees, and we're asking for 50% reduction in all of those. That would be
One-time deal.
Building.
planning, building fee.
One-time deal.
Yes.
I was just wondering if you had any idea what that amount adds up to.
Oh, yeah, well, I can tell you the amount. It's, I think the fees were somewhere near $1 million.
Yeah, 880,000, with 100%, and so 50% reduction would be just over 440,000.
So we'll still be receiving 400 some odd thousand.
I make a motion, we, Dollar General give them a fee reduction.
I'll second it.
One time.
I'll second the motion.
If you have a motion and a second on the floor, is there any discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, we have several reappointments to various boards. They're listed on the agenda. Mark, do we do these, if there's no objection to any of these folks, can we do them in one motion?
Yeah, and if any board member wants a separate board, same as the organizational resolutions. But you can do them together if you wish.
I'll put forth a motion to adopt all appointments.
Nobody has any issues with it.
You know, anybody
I'll
have any
second it.
issue or objection to any of these reappointments?
They all do a great job.
Okay. Then I would entertain a motion to approve the appointments of all those listed on your agenda.
And I put forth the motion to appoint, to put forth the motion to appoint all candidates for their new terms.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? So moved. Which brings us to committee reports. Any committee reports?
I'd like to thank the building department, I think the town highwayman involved in the sign. They did a beautiful sign, beautiful job. I think that sign really looks nice and sends a message for the town.
I'm going to do that, but I do want to report that, I reported at the last meeting that Phyllis Dumont was resigning from the seniors group, and she's been convinced to stay for an extra couple years. So that's that. And the Are You OK program, we're still looking for one more volunteer to fulfill those phone calls in case of an emergency. So if anybody knows of anybody who might step up to that. And then that's all that report.
Anything for us?
Not right now. We're organizing about new fees for next year.
Okay, John?
Chief Clerk, Commissioner, review.
Okay, just a couple of items. As every year, we have town board liaisons appointed to the various departments. We've all been doing such a good job with your present assignments, I don't plan on changing them, but it's Ryan actually is Wilton Water and Sewer Authority and Wilton Wildlife Preserve and Park liaison. Nancy Riley is Insurance Committee and Personnel Committee. Councilman McCracken is the Highway Department, which certainly has his hands full with that department. For Councilman Land has handled the courts and the Justice Department, the Safety Review Committee, the Town Historian, Mr. John, and the Personnel Committee Chair. Councilwoman Klepetar, the Are You OK program, which she's just talked about, the seniors, and the Americans with Disabilities. And Parks and Recreation is Councilman Stryker. A couple of new committees I'd like to talk about a little bit. 2018 is a bicentennial year for the town of Wilton. It seems a long time away, but there's a lot of planning involved in putting together events and things for the 200-year bicentennial. So I will be appointing a committee to work on that bicentennial committee. So if anybody knows any volunteers, anybody would like to volunteer for that committee, please let Sue Baldwin know. Most likely because it's probably be looking to hire potentially an organizer. There's a lot of work and you really need some professional advice in these types of things. So I'm probably looking to hire somebody in that regard as well. And also, it's been many years since we've addressed our fee schedule. So I think this year is a good time to do that. And I'm going to appoint Brian Riker, Mark Mykins, and Jeff Reel to look at our fee schedule and come back to this board with some recommendation on any fee changes. Okay, next, Jeff, the controls report.
Okay, the first item that requires town board approval are the 2015 budget transfers and amendments. I also have two 2016 budget amendments as well. Are there any questions?
Any questions of Jeff on the transfers or the budget amendments? Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to approve the transfers and the budget amendments.
Take a motion to approve the budget transfers, budget amendments.
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved.
Okay, next item. Our highway superintendent, Kirk Woodcock, has been working hard trying to get a grant from Senator Kathy Marcion's office. And in doing so, we received a letter from the Dormitory Authority of the State of New York, and working with Senator Marcion's office, we are in line to receive a grant in the amount of $100,000, which would go towards the purchase of a new highway truck. Okay? In order to do that, though, the town board needs to put together a resolution authorizing that the town would approve the balance of the funds to purchase a new highway truck contingent upon the town receiving this grant in the amount of $100,000 from the State and Municipal Facilities Program. well, town board should authorize Supervisor Johnson to sign the SAM project information worksheet as well to go along with that resolution. If this all goes through, it probably won't happen for a good 8, 9 months down the road, us receiving this money. If the money hasn't been appropriated yet in the budget, but we are in line, so hopefully, chances are we should be able to.
So we get the grant, then we buy the truck.
Right.
With the-
We're not
then
gonna
we
buy
pay
the truck first.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, we just need to tell the dormitory authority that the town is willing to put up the balance of the funds if we get the grant, the $100,000 grant.
I'll make that motion as you read it.
Okay.
No second.
Can I ask a question about the truck? What about the truck? Do we need it? Is it one of those really big ones, or what?
We discussed,
We
we
need it,
you
we
asked
need
me.
it, it's a big truck.
It's a big truck.
Big trucks wear
It's a
out.
big yellow truck.
It's one of the big
Wow.
tandem trucks, big plow trucks.
Okay.
You know, according to our highway superintendent, absolutely.
Oh, I'm sure.
There is a couple rowdy trucks.
But, you know, the state's gonna give us $100,000. I mean, if we're gonna, if we get it, it's gonna cost us $70,000, and, you know, I know Kirk has a really, really old one there that hopefully he would get rid of that one and replace it.
We discussed it. Yes.
Right, that's a plan.
Yeah, during, this is, Kirk had put in his budget for 2016.
He wanted
to
now.
purchase this truck, but we said, look, we'll purchase it, but we want to, it'll be contingent upon getting $100,000 from the state. So it is a truck that was scheduled to be replaced anyway, but we held off until knowing this funding may be available.
We did talk about getting rid of some other stuff.
The resolution.
So, yeah, we have a motion and a second. Joanne had a question.
Yeah, sorry.
No,
So,
no.
anything else?
Is there any other questions? Take a vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved.
Okay, next are personal items. Sue Baldwin is requesting to hire Karen Scott James into the part-time clerk position, which was put in the 2016 budget. Karen will be starting at a rate of $13 per hour at up to 17.5 hours per week. And her effective start date was January 4th.
Make a motion to hire Karen James to the town clerk's office.
I'll second it.
Motion is second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So moved.
Okay, Mark Mikins, our code enforcement officer, is requesting approval to send John Hurley, Scott Harrington, and himself up to the Adirondack Code Enforcement Official Conference in Lake Placid, February 29th through March 3rd. It's overnight travel, so it requires town board approval.
Motion to approve. John Scott and himself. And Mark.
I'll second it.
A motion and a second. Jeff, I'm assuming this was, Mark put this in his budget.
Yes, it is in this budget. And they're all going to get their 24 credit hours, which is required for the certification.
Okay, a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved.
Okay, the last one. Kirk is requesting, in this year's budget, we have in the over Joshua Harrington, who is in a full-time, no benefits position. This year's budget, we created that position with benefits, okay, which means he gets leave time now. But Joshua's been on the town's payroll for quite some time. When you move into a full-time position with benefits, the leave benefits, our personnel policy states is a waiting period to receive sick time, personal time, and vacation time. Kirk is requesting to waive that waiting period, so Josh can get his leave time on a monthly basis, the way it's set up. We've done it before in the past for other employees that were in this position and then was later moved up to a full-time benefit, so.
He's been with
Been done in the
the
past.
town for how long?
Joshua's probably on our payroll for 2 years.
What's the stable time and normal rate?
I believe it's 3 months. Wait, 3 months.
I'll make a motion. We allow,
This is something we've done.
Yeah, have done it before, yes.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion, a second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Councilwoman Kleppert, executive, has requested an executive session to discuss a personnel matter involving the performance of an individual employee. Before we adjourn to executive session, is there any other business you want to talk about? Okay, so if you can motion to adjourn to executive session.
I make a motion.
We have a second right now. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I don't expect any particular resolutions coming out of executive session. I don't know how long it's going to be, but I don't expect any action taken from it. But you're welcome to stay.
The public hearing is still on for the 12th. I missed the first part of the meeting. Was it on the new warehouse,
That's on Monday, the 11th.
Monday, the 11th?
Yeah, that's the IDA public hearing. Not a public hearing for our public. It's just being held
It's
here.
our opportunity to underwrite capitalism for the